Alright, we got some damage. So when I reduce my throttle, the full flow goes down. We also get a heading and altitude. It's one of the little telemetry data I'm collecting already. This could be interesting data for motion rigs as well. Okay, I spent the last days hacking into Ace Combat 7. I want to show some progress. This is all highly experimental. And yeah, let's jump right into the demo, where we take off from a carrier.
H2, begin takeoff sequence. You're cleared for launch.
We see the landing gear, and we are currently docked. Now the landing gear should come off.
H2 is away.
Now we get the fancy animation.
H2, specified altitude reached. Restrictions lifted. Good luck.
We also get the radio chatter. And we jump right into the mission.
This is the situation. We have the upper hand, but
The
that
chatter's
doesn't
piling
mean
up a little bit.
Good luck.
I'm still working on the details for this. On the upper right corner we get the target indicator. And when I get the target lock, it gets a history lock here. Totally ignoring the missiles, because I muted demo. Alright, we got some damage. And we also get our fancy blinking lights. This is actually a fuel flow. So when I reduce my throttle, the full flow goes down. Forward again, we get fuel flow again. It's one of the little telemetry data I'm collecting already. I'm not picking up everything at the moment. In case you wonder what the other bars, this is my GPU and CPU load and temperature of the system and how much power it consumes, stuff like this. So I have an idea what the rig is doing. We also get some targeting data here, including the bounty, what this shot would be worth. I'm going to drag out some more telemetry, like how many flares are left, how many missiles, stuff like this, and track this too. And perhaps I'll also show the rotation of the plane.
Nice kill.
This could be interesting data for motion rigs as well, which I don't have, but others may find this useful. I also want to show the remaining mission time and stuff like this. Currently it's only showing the current time I'm recording this. Yeah, some have seen this before. I usually use this to play Space Pew Pew. So the whole interface is sort of themed mostly for Elite Dangerous and X4 Foundations. And I'm going to introduce another theme for AC. It also can play sounds on demand. I have various alert systems implemented in this. I just have to get the input from the game, and then I can also play sounds based on what's happening. It also plays sounds when a message comes in. Many possibilities. And we get a fancy boot animation. Okay, back to the mission. Now the shield should come on any moment. We're starting another warning. So it's coming. And we get more warning lights.
What the hell? Caution. All aircraft, stay alert. Get out of there.
And we got damage. Only 50% left. We also get a heading, an altitude, and a speed. I know this one is still rubber banding, this is bugged, I know why, but I was too lazy to fix it so far. But the data is live enough to show the values very accurate. Accurate enough for a game, I mean. Okay, time to explain what's going on. I stumbled over the UE4SS mod for the Unreal Engine, and this is a specific build for the for Ace Combat 7. I downloaded this because it was scratching one of my itches that I had with the game. This is the fault that is not configurable in the game. And some people edited the exe file to fix this. And there is a mod that introduces a config file for this, and this uses this scripting system. And while I was reading this, I stumbled over this little line here where it suggests this allows Lua scripting. And I'm not a particular fan of Lua, but I used Lua before to get telemetry from another game that I'm playing. This project, UE4SS, basically hooks into the well-known Unreal Engine and allows access to all the objects from the game. And I can drag these objects into Lua scripts and go from there. There is also this very neat library, Luasocket. And with Luasocket, I can basically open TCP or UDP ports. This allows me to send telemetry data from within the game via Luasocket to my plumbing pipeline for my home cockpit stuff. And this is currently realized using Node-RED. Node-RED just listens on some port for the game. This is totally artificial. And from here I reassemble the message that I'm getting. It uses a delimiter that is specified in my code. From there it parses a JSON. It could also send binary, but I need JSON anyway, so this works for me. And from here it just goes into my generic telemetry pipeline from the main flow. And this is a little bit more complicated. I won't go into too much detail here now, but what you may understand from this is, from here I'm parsing the data again and separate them based on what type of message this is and where it has to go. And one of the most important ones that also drives my blinking lights from the joystick, and the most important telemetry data, is the so-called flags file or status file. I'm using the same format that Elite Dangerous uses because I simply started with this game in the beginning and I kinda like how stuff is organized there. Yeah, and once it's forwarded, I have the data available on a WebSocket, via Socket.io, and also via MQTT that I have also running in the background. And this is also collecting some other telemetry data from the system, like load and memory usage and how hot the system is running. So I also always have an eye on this. And this all gets forwarded also to the React app that is running on my secondary auxiliary screen, where it simply shows the data that is getting sent from the Node-RED process. It can do some fancy stuff like playing sounds. I can switch the broker, currently it's connected to a socket, but I can also connect it to MQTT and I can enable live chats, like when I stream. I can switch the theme. I also can go batshit crazy with the animations, and this consumes a lot more power, but it adds more eye candy to the overlay. Okay, another quick demo. I want to show the telemetry data stream, just to show that it is very fast or fast enough, and I'm currently reading every 50 milliseconds. So the moment the game begins we should see a lot of debug. So as you can see, the telemetry data is scrolling in very fast, several reads per second. So we really have an idea what's going on. And it's just up to the consumer how fast and how much the consumer reads.
H2, specified altitude reached, restrictions lifted. Good luck.
I know this is a little bit small. Let me try to zoom in. So, for example, we can see the first value, mostly this is the altitude, and it's very up to date. We also have, for example, a fire group 1 at the moment. When I switch to fire group, we get 2. This is the second fire group is the second weapon in this case. We also see a received text message from time to time. This is the radio chatter. We also get a timestamp, so we always know what time the message dropped. We have a position for the plane. Alright, let's pause for a moment. So, for example, here is target information. Here we found an enemy fighter. We have a target log. We have a ship ID. And we know it's bounty. I set its legal status to hostile because this is from the enemy faction. Usually the only thing we can target in ace combat anyway, but it does read the information indeed from the enemy plane. There is a health information. Here we have a received message. This is a localized message string. We know from whom it is, and we have a channel. In this case, this is a channel friend. The event type and the timestamp, of course. So, at the moment I unpause the game, it starts chattering again. So, this seems to work smooth enough. Doesn't overburden the system. And now it's really up to the user what it does or what they do with the data. Yeah, I guess this is it for today. I managed to connect another game to my home cockpit. I'm very happy with this. It's still very early days for this, so no idea if I'll pursue it much more or any deeper, but yeah, let's see. Kinda depends on my mood and on the next rabbit hole I'm diving into. If someone else wants to try this or has an idea for this, like if you have a motion rig or something like this, or just don't want to bother with DCS, just for some quick action, but you still have a fancy simpit or home cockpit and you just want to get telemetry data from the cockpit here too, so all your fancy displays aren't dead with face combat, poke me, let me know, perhaps we can work something out.